The good news just keeps coming for Damar Hamlin's recovery as his breathing tube is now out and he was able to FaceTime with his Bills teammates today.
To see the players' reaction, they stood up right away and clapped for him and, yelled some things to him. And it was a pretty cool exchange for a few seconds there.
After a tough few days for Damar Hamlin, his family, and the entire Bills organization, just another major milestone on his road to recovery today. Good evening, everybody. I'm Michael Wooten.
And I'm Mary Alice Demler. Our sports director, Adam Bonini, will talk more about Hamlin's message to his team coming up in just a few minutes. But we want to start with updates on his health. 2 on your sides, Rob Hackford remains in Cincinnati, where Hamlin is still being treated tonight. He begins our team coverage with the latest on his recovery. Rob?
Michael and Mary Alice, overlooking Cincinnati tonight. You can still see the support for Damar Hamlin in the buildings behind me, blue and red scattered across the city, but they are beginning to change over. A hopeful sign, perhaps, with the diagnosis and the update today from the University Medical Center that he is speaking with family as well as medical staff, had that breathing tube removed and is off the ventilator. It's one of those markers that the doctors mentioned to us yesterday. They wanted to see Hamlin pass to get on and get a better read on his recovery. This is still being called remarkable, with the Bills adding that his neurologic function is still intact, with speech now another part of that. Tonight we have new insight on the early days in the hospital when there was a lot of waiting and really only the medical staff, Damar's family, and the members of the Bills organization knew what was going on. Bills General Manager Brandon Beane, who stayed in Cincinnati most of the week, shared moments from inside the hospital that we haven't heard before, when Damar's mom was amazed at the millions being raised for her son, and when presented with every possible outcome with Hamlin on his stomach to aid in breathing, he kept getting better.
And so you started to feel relief. Still not there yet, but like I said, from that point on, it just seems like things were trending up. And then yesterday morning, you walk in there and he's responding to commands. Was absolutely not what I thought I was going to hear. And it was just, it was definitely tears of joy.
Beane saying he was in awe of Damar's parents, Nina and Mario, and their strength. And as I mentioned, perhaps a good sign tonight, overlooking the city of Cincinnati, Paycor Stadium has switched over to Bengals orange, perhaps a hopeful sign for Damar's recovery as things return back to normal. And the hope is that Damar will continue on that path to normalcy as well. Reporting live overlooking Cincinnati, Rob Hackford, Channel 2 News.
Rob, thank you. And as we mentioned off the top of the show, the highlight of the day for Bills players and coaches was getting to see and hear briefly from Damar himself on FaceTime.
We heard quite a bit about that call from a few different members of the organization today, and our sports director Adam Bonini is live out at Highmark Stadium now in Orchard Park. And Adam, it sounds like another huge sigh of relief coming from within that locker room today.
Yeah, Michael and Mary Alice, I mean, you can imagine how much really everyone in this organization, the players, the coaches, wanted to see and hear from Damar Hamlin, and they were able to do just that here at Highmark Stadium, and the team facility this morning was actually at the team's morning meeting. As a surprise to the players, they were able to connect with him on that FaceTime call, and he was able to communicate with them and at one point actually speak to them. Here's more on how all that happened from head coach Sean McDermott.
He made hand signals, hand gestures, right? The thing that makes me laugh is he did this to the guys, right away. He flexed on them, I guess. And he's just got some staple things that they know him for and that he does. I mean, he made the heart symbol probably more than anything. And then he gave him a thumbs up. So, and then somewhere in the midst of that, and it was a little bit hard to hear, but he, as you'd imagine, he said, I love you boys. And of course, I think I got the guys.
Yeah, we can only imagine. The team will pay tribute to Hamlin here on Sunday. The players will wear the number 3 patches on their uniforms, and the number 3 on the 30-yard line markers on the field will be outlined in blue as well. And there's a pregame tribute in the works that will honor the first responders for their fine work. Other teams will be honoring Hamlin around the National Football League as well. And the latest positive sign comes on the transaction wire. Late this afternoon, the Bills officially placed Damar Hamlin on injured reserve. And just the fact that we're talking about a football move at this point speaks volumes about his incredible progress over the past 48 hours. Bills and Patriots here, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Michael Marialis, let's send it back into you.
Adam, thank you very much.